I'm thinking, I'm thinking. See, I feel like this place feels new for me. Like personally, I've been living in a way that my environment didn't feel safe for me. See, a safe place feels like something that hasn't ingratiated me consistently. So now I'm trying to figure out, is this where I'm supposed to be? Maybe I would be happier living single. It might be easier to do that than to try to find ways to habitat with someone else's other things, and now my things have to commingle. They told me this was a safe place, but it feels awkward for me. Maybe if I control my life and my environment, I mean, I control it regardless, but if I'm supposed to share it with she, then how do I know that this place is where I'm supposed to be? It doesn't always feel safe to me. Who constructed this shit? Like, who built it up and who set the decor? I mean, honestly, from far away, it always felt like I could get lost in the allure of something I would adore. But then, as soon as I walk through the door, it would be something that I'd be better off trying to ignore. See, living single seems safe to me. People tend to tell me that I need to let love in order to let love win, but I'm not sure where love is set to begin. See, I don't know if that's what's supposed to be for me. Maybe it's easier for me to resemble Kyle Barker. You know, even if he took it to the max, he could still be alone and keep the slick talker. You see, I got the hats. I'm trying to figure out if that's best, because otherwise every safe space that I've met has also became a space that has begot more and more stress. So I'm trying to figure out, is this a place that I'm supposed to be, or is living single the best idea for me, and this is a safe space that honestly is only meant temporary for me to visit? Quinn?
Visiting from the past, knowing that I haven't shown in my face, that's how the memories always started to last. You knocked on my door, noticing that I really wasn't your neighbor, but I always made myself feel at home with your friends and family joining at the table. We always seem to find conversation and bothering each other and coming at each other with tactics that only we seem to read between the lines for. I called you something past the human nature, and naturally you seem to breathe upon me those tactics that you use to tell me how much you and I shared the same news of feeling blues. We had humorous conversations mentally flowing through each other's minds, and everyone on the table looked at us like, how come these two don't realize that they're falling in love this time? I didn't find much conversation in the petty talk, and you kept looking at me telling me, Max, you have a better look than you have a walk. And I'm sitting here wondering, how come you just keep talking? You seem to think more than you speak, because you say your mind does all the talking, and you think I don't have the time, but you forget I'm a lawyer, so I have exactly what I'm being paid for, time. And time again, I win. The judge doesn't even seem to know that I know exactly what he's going to say, and I tell him every single day, I've got this in my case. So I buckle up, so I'm ready for the race. You seem to look at me and tell me I'm running out of my own trace, and I'm telling you, what do you expect me to do? Show my face? Okay, sure, I will. And then you notice how much I'm willing to come by the will and tell you, I told you my face. So why do you keep thinking you can maximize me at my own trace, meaning that I have to run for you? No, I'm knocking on everyone's door telling them I'm coming in for more. I made myself comfortable on the couch, and Maxine is who I am, so it's all a part of everybody's dream coming to reality that they say, why is she still living this way? You say living single? Because, well, I like myself today. I made myself more comfortable on that comfy couch, and not because Sinclair told me, come here, please have a seat and be at home, but everyone seems to think I'm more better left alone, and I'm living in a society that no one says I'm home. I just make it that way. They served me with my plate of what I thought I knew I wanted, and then I said, am I ready for a new date? And then, of course, Sinclair comes back around and says, dear, 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 it's okay. He's right here. And I'm looking at you like, what is that supposed to do? And fantasize me? You're just entertaining to me. You kept coming back around, tilting your hat down, and telling me I've got this handled. And I'm telling you, you are a case that I don't want to trace. And I keep saying trace over and over again because that's the pen and paper that you use to capitalize me with a paper that says I am your best dream. No, quite frankly, I am better off being mean. They think I make a better story that way. So I stare at you again and say, what in the hell have I come to today? You tell me. I don't know.
Well, keep your head up. Yeah, keep your head up. That's right. I can tell you what to do when it's life get tough, but it's a lot easier for me to wait till you to come to your own conclusions because for some reason you like when we fight. Like, you take this stance as if you don't match my arrogance, and then you fall for it again and again, and we do this dance and wake up together at the end of the night. It's so crazy how they chose to write this part of life. See, I'm not sure if it was meant to be wrong or meant to be right. I just know that honestly, single is what we told ourselves to be comfortable with the way that we lived our life. I mean, honestly, sometimes it's a little bit of that, sometimes it's a little bit of this, fake arguments just for us to get mad when we see each other walk into the apartment with somebody else. Like, why are you even with them? Yo, they ain't even that sick. Like, it's so crazy how we chose to do this. Like, okay, like my roomie, well, he was a maintenance man, but he never tried to fix this. Well, okay, I'm lying. He told me when I was wrong from time to time, and sometimes I would get so stuck in my mind. But honestly, we was just trying to screw shit. Like just try to speak truthful about how we manage this. I mean, to be fair, out of everybody over there, I was cool. Like, used to chill, Regine. You know, she was going to get all the bread. That's how she liked them. You came through always in your head. That's how you was fighting them. And then, I mean, to be clear, we knew who had the magazine, but your flavor always was in my ear. So I guess we had to take it there. Everybody was shocked when we did. I don't even know why. Like, it was almost like the chemistry was so strong. It was nothing that we could do to stop us from staying going continuously on, no matter how much we would try. And we could act like, you know, they would remove me on the last season, but without me, honestly, a part of you would still cry. We would act like we was cool when we would leave, but then, you know, being single without each other, we would just have to grieve. I'm not sure why this space would feel so disgruntled yet still be safe for me. Not sure why it felt like a Maxine was made for me. Like,
Was I really made for you? I felt like when you got on that flight, it was like the bride that was only left to tell herself she do. I mean, you turned away from me and pleaded with me to come with you, but I wasn't sure if that was the right thing for my future self to do. You looked back at me and told me you loved me, and you told me those words took you so long to say, and I myself had to ask myself, was I really asking him to stay? I looked back at the times that we made fun of each other, and that was our humorous way of telling each other that we really loved each other's hearts to stay. I guess the best thing I could do was wish you well, and well, I knew damn well I wasn't getting on that flight, so hold on to the wings as it makes a mighty good night, because I was for damn sure not going to have one. I hate to admit it. You leaving was all that I couldn't sleep for. I wondered how come you had to go. I know you had a new job and you had to not turn everything down but your dreams, and your dream was coming true while mine was still sitting down thinking, what the hell am I supposed to do? I've had too many moments where I've lost my job, so I knew I didn't want to do that again, and I knew that I had to sit back and remember this was really coming to an end. The season where we all had to look around and wonder why. Where did he have to go? I mean, Obi, he was your road dog. Y'all had the little taps that always had an ending that was so sweet and so beautiful, but I was wondering how come in the hell I can't find someone like you? I mean, you were gone, so how come this felt like this took too long to get over? All those dreams that I had that came to reality and everything I said. Then I realized it wasn't just a hotel. It was you next to me that I woke up and I realized this was not the dream. I was wondering, how come, what did I have in my drink? We just would laugh at each other and it would all come to an end. Then I had to wonder, how come I just didn't get on that flight when I could have brought this to a no end? Poem.
Because we were never just friends. We seem to be living single, but then again, as you can see, that was never just friends. Like, what we were meant to be was more than we could conceive. So even if I was forced to leave, it would wind up ending the same way that it began with us living single, although our hearts told us both that we were not just friends. Like, even if it was around the same time or around the same day or around the same year, the connection that not just me and you had, but we all had to, honestly, you had to just be there. Okay, to think that it was friends, well, would be to understand that this bond was something that others may not share. Honestly, they didn't even have those like us over there. So the bond that we had, for them to try to steal this swag, this love right here, oh, this ain't friends. Nah. See, we may be living single, but the way that we commingle will show you that this is sicker than shingles. This is what it's meant to be. So honestly, even if they thought they could cancel you or me or any of the rest of those that were with us consistently, they couldn't, because it lives in the heart of all of us. Well, beyond the memory. See, this is where we say goodbye, but only for now. Because in our hearts, we know this will never end. Maybe my safe space isn't living single, but I know my safe space isn't friends. Poem.